Welcome to Rauta's Finnish Black Metal Reviews. This time we go all the way back to early 90s, old school ways, with this band called Darkwoods My Betrothed. This one is their new album Angel of Carnage Unleashed. Now this one was actually released in late 2021, but due to some random errors, let's call them that, this CD was a little bit delayed. Maybe it was lost in the mail, maybe there was a human error. Really don't know, really don't care at this point. What matters here that this beautiful CD package here is, well, finally here for review. Released by Napalm Records. This is a comeback album by this old band. Now when I say old, I really mean that after the very first wave of Finnish black metal that includes such names as Archgoat, Beherit, Imbel Nazarene, Baratrum and so on, pretty quickly there was a band called Darkwoods My Betrothed, but well, they started with the name called Virgin's Cunt. Not exactly the most suitable name for a black metal band, I guess, and not exactly the most syllable names. So from this very kind of a obscene name, they went totally into other direction with this rather romantic name of sorts. And their style of black metal wasn't exactly the type of very raw or primitive, like you could basically say about Beherit and Archgoat. And it wasn't exactly this kind of obscenity stuff what Imbel Nazarene was doing with flirting with death metal and all. Now Darkwoods My Betrothed decided to include not only synthesizers but also clean vocals, which then again later on went with the so-called elk vocal nickname. I mean, when you listen to early Darkwoods material, you kind of figure out these are not the typical kind of clean vocals you're so much used to. But they gave this band a lot of personality, a kind of a unique feeling, if you will. But then the band disappeared after 3 albums, which were done basically back-to-back from 1995 to 1998. The band started, or well, tried to do a comeback, but that was not going to happen. Maybe we could say life got into the way, and the rest is history. However, in 2021, there was some sort of rumors going on that the band was supposed to come back, and that indeed it did. After a while, that is. Towards the end of the year, suddenly there was this band coming with Napalm Records. And what is more importantly, very interesting is that this band nowadays, not only it features the original members, I mean, if you take a look at this members list, you have these members from 1994. Well, technically speaking, some of them are 1993, but anyway, it has the original trio. But on top of that, you have Tuomas Holopainen of Nightwish. Now, he was a session member of the band back in the days, but never credited as a full-time member. I don't know the reasons, nor really care about that point. But the funny thing is, he was all along there, you know, before Nightwish even got started. But it wasn't really like a full member, like said. Now, on top of that, this new album features also Mr. Hahto, who is also known as a Nightwish drummer, also famous, I think one of the most famous Finnish metal drummers in the course of Finnish metal history. He's now as a session drummer for this new album. So this is kind of an interesting boost to the band. Not only having this original trio doing the music once again, but now incorporating elements from Nightwish members. Very interesting. But of course, nobody cares who are playing in the band if the music sucks. Now, is that a question with this album? I can luckily say quite the contrary. This is the best album by the band so far, and luckily so. Now, because this album spans in very many directions, it's kind of hard to figure out where to start from. First of all, this is a kind of a concept album. Well, in a way anyways, and the band has matured a lot. So, first of all, this sounds like a lot different band than what it used to be. Now, make no mistake, the early ones are not bad. Quite the contrary, but this is still a better one. Now, there are various reasons to that. First of all, the songwriting is more mature now. But that is probably not the biggest thing, even though that matters the most. What also matters is that now there are no elk vocals in prison anymore. This is a combination of fast black metal in a very modern ways, one could say. One could even say that with these added keyboards and, well, very different level of keyboards nowadays used, this is the kind of Finnish equivalent to Dimmu Borgir. Yes, I said it that out loud, and some people are just gonna roll their eyes now, for good or bad. Doesn't really matter. Thing here is, it's a lot of synth-driven keyboard played black metal combined to a fast tempo black metal with lots of aggressiveness. But that isn't even all of that. Now there are various clean vocal parts with session members and all that stuff, which then again creates yet another layer for this kind of music. There are also folkier parts, which kind of feel a little bit misplaced maybe. Not much, but it gives this album a feeling, or maybe atmosphere would be a more properly used word, that it's like all over the place. A little bit like having a multitude of tentacles going to different places. And you kind of lose track with that all. I don't know. For me it works, but this is not an easy album to get into. So many times I listen to bands that after a couple of spins, well, they kind of are very clear what they are all about. That is, some albums after 1, 2 or 3 spins you pretty much know everything there is to know about. They are not so-called growers. Some albums actually go the wrong way, like ungrowers, if you will. They kind of grow in the wrong direction, like cancer or something. But this is the typical grower album in the sense that first spin, yeah, it's pretty good, but I don't know if it's that great. The second spin, pretty much the same thoughts, but now you're trying to figure out more details. Third, fourth spin, and you're like, hey, this is really building up. This is trying to make sense, and my brain is trying to understand and figure it out. By the fifth spin, I was like, okay, this probably could go on, but eventually diminishing returns is what comes into play. After a while, you kind of start figuring out it's not going to change that much. You understand what you can, and, well, can't really delay a review with 5 years or so. So the point here is, it's the most mature version of the band. One could say the band versus 2.0. If the early ones were the version 1.0 or whatever, this is now the renewed version with a lot better drumming, a lot more focused keyboard parts, I guess thanks to a lot to experience with Nightwish. But in general, also the vocals and how the songs are structured, everything is here, an improvement from what it used to be. And like I said, the previous ones are not bad. They are quite good. Now remove the word quite and you are here with this album, well, The Angel. Now, I don't know to which kind of audience I would really say. If you're expecting raw end of black metal, this is, I guess, way too polished and clean and nicely conducted for you. If you're looking for more soothing atmospheric parts, maybe this is just too much, too mainstreamish, if you will. Now, if you are, however, into the very more bombastic kind of black metal, the kind of Dimmu Borgir, but not just limited that kind of stuff, I would say this is right up your alley. I was really enjoying this, but I am still very much gonna say that maybe there is a little bit too much of that tentacle thing going on. Maybe some of those limbs could be removed and this would be even more focused. But I don't know. It's not like those, for example, folkier parts which seem a little bit misplaced. It's not like they're gonna ruin this album. They're just merely a touch of something else. And you either like them or you ignore them, but they're not gonna, figure out what's going on with the album. I mean, they don't define it. So overall, this is a good album, and like I said, the best by the band so far. I really hope the band will keep going on after this one, now that they had this decades-long hiatus. I hope they will be able to push this even forward and to do yet another new comeback album, if you will, without having this long break and all. So give it a go. It's available from your favorite streaming services, as well as, of course, physical product. And I must say, there is something really, really beautiful on this cover. So, me being a Digiback fan, I really like how the end product is here with the whole packaging and the art. And, of course, lyrics included. So, give this one a go, and I hope you really, really like it. Now, there will be also Darkwoods My Betrothed beer review up review coming up later on, so stay tuned for that. They have some special kind of a beer for you and me alike. So check out and enjoy it. Take care and bye bye.